Ladies and gentlemen, you are all welcome to this press conference by the FOJODRAMA group. The theme of this conference is Addo's free SHS promise is the deception of the century. That is, FOJODRAMA is tagging this press conference as Addo's free SHS promise is the deception of the century. And we'll go further to prove why this assertion is strongly made. Dear ladies and gentlemen of the press, we of FOJODRAMA wish to thank you most sincerely for your very encouraging response to our invitation to this press conference. And we welcome you to this function this morning with a deep sense of gratitude and fraternal bonding. For purposes of introduction, FOJODRAMA is a group of people who are born together by the love and affection we have for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, whose special gift of affability, peace-loving, and truthfulness, as well as strong and enduring personality, appeal continuously to draw all manners of people to himself on daily basis. As Ghanaians continue to see and know more about him from day to day, such group wants to establish that it's of a good cause. These special gifts and qualities have made His Excellency the most adored of all the candidates canvassing for the presidency of our nation. Unfortunately, our most truthful and affable president is one of the most who people unfairly lambast with all manner of insults and blameless accusations aimed at smearing his highly aimed reputation of occupying the highest office of the land. This press conference seeks to address one such blameless accusation, and in doing so, we wish to expose the proponents of these accusations of being rather economical with the truth in matters that assume immense public interest, to the extent that it is currently shaping public opinion all over the country and becoming the knife's edge on which the results of the upcoming election will be decided. That is the free SHS proposition by the NPP and Nana Akufo-Addo. Our president and the flag bearer of the NDC has consistently been blacklisted as a selfish leader who benefited from free education but is denying others the right to assume free education he enjoyed, which enabled him grow up into the complete man he is today. Ladies and gentlemen, nothing is further than the truth. His Excellency John Mahama has repeated time and time again his position on the matter, which is the position of his ruling party, the NDC, and indeed the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, to the effect that he supports free, compulsory, basic education, which under the 19th Constitution has become completely and must be free by the year 2004. But then, as a nation, we have not been able to achieve. He believes in the secondary and tertiary education being progressively free and accessible to all. We of FOJODRAMA support this position, not only as the one espoused by our dearly beloved president, but also as the most realistic and achievable proposition to guarantee free quality education, starting from tackling the backlog at the basic level, systematically building the schools and infrastructure, as well as the funding required to make SHS progressively free within the meaning of Article 38 of the 1992 Constitution. Ladies and gentlemen, we of FOJODRAMA want to place on record here and now that the free SHS proposition that has been put forward by the opposition NPP championed by Nana Akufo-Addo, per their own figures, and we repeat, per their own figures, it's not only hasty, unrealistic, and unachievable, but also so deficient and so hollow that it amounts to what we call the deception of the century. Hence, the theme of this press conference, the deception of the century. This is why, and FOJODRAMA will seek to proceed to prove to our countrymen and women why this deception by the MPP. From the very moment the MPP's flag bearer added to his famous All Die We Die campaign war cry, the Free SHS mantra, many are those who have been wondering whether he genuinely understands what it really takes to implement such a gargantuan tax within 7 months of taking office. Or he is just simply actuated by malice and selfishness in promising something he himself knows cannot be achieved to deceive and hoodwink the good people of Ghana to obtain a stolen verdict from them on 7th of December 2012. After a careful consideration of all the evidence available to us, we of FOJODRAMA wish to place on record that we believe Nana Addo and his MPP are consciously and maliciously seeking to take Ghanaians for a full ride to power on the back of a clearly unrealistic and unachievable promises, considering the budgetary allocation for education when a government is formed, in the event that they even get to form a government, considering the budgetary allocation. That is why we are saying, per their figures, the Free SHS proposition is unrealistic and not in good taste for now. To elucidate on this point, we believe you will agree with us, ladies and gentlemen, that the fundamental question about the possibility or otherwise of any such venture is costing. Any person or group of people, be it corporate or otherwise, who set out on any venture requiring some injection of capital without first costing to know how that will be required to start it and complete sale successfully, is failing to plan and therefore planning to fail. So therefore, countrymen and women, with the Free SHS proposition alone, the MPP has failed to plan, and so therefore they are planning to fail. We don't leave our destiny in the hands of such politicians. Our first major shot about the possible intention of Nana Addo was during his now famous interview on BBC's Hard Talk program, when he refused to answer a question as routine and as mundane as how much will it cost, asked by the host, claiming unabashedly that he knew exactly how much it would cost to implement Free SHS in Ghana by September 2013, but he rather preferred to tell Ghanaians on his return home. What a shame. It took several months after he returned home before he was finally compelled to release his best-kept secret, and it turned out to be a horrendous miscalculation resulting in figures that woefully undercut and underestimate the enormity of the subject matter in an effort to deceive Ghanaians that it really does not cost much to implement his Free SHS policy in our republic in the 21st century. This was when he took his stand at the IEA Evening Encounter program in September 2012 in Accra. Permit me, ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture to play an audio-visual recording of the relevant portion of his speech, which we hereby do unedited to forestall any that is not my voice rebuttal.
Invest in the future of our youth and of our country. Fellow citizens, I know numbers can be boring, but these are important numbers, so bear with me. The additional cost of providing free senior high school will be around 1% of Ghana's GDP. The cost of providing free secondary school education, which includes tuition, boarding, feeding, and all the other charges, for the 2013-2014 academic year, is estimated at 0.1% of our GDP. This translates into some 78 million Ghana cedis.
So, Nana Addo has his costing, finally. In one breath, he said, this will be very costly. Yet he went further to cost it. 78 million Ghana cedis. That is all it takes to start a free SHS program in Ghana from September 2013 to September 2014. What is the big deal? It is only 0.1% of Ghana's GDP. What Nana failed to tell Ghanaians is what goes into that figure of 78 million Ghana cedis. In other words, what is that 78 million meant to pay for? With all the noise that he and his MPP followers have been making on free SHS, to date, they have failed to answer this question. Why? Because that will simply expose them as deceivers of the people, period. Well, today, we FOJODRAMA are here to answer that question for them. Ladies and gentlemen, currently, there are 511 senior high schools and technical schools, as well as vocational schools in Ghana, with some 720,000 students currently enrolled in them. Please note that we are using approximate round figures here to facilitate our calculations and enhance clear understanding of our argument. In this year's BECE examination, over 3,750 students passed and qualified to be admitted to these 511 existing senior and technical and vocational schools. This is an increase of more than 100% of the number who qualified in 2011, which means that the number of students who qualified in 2011, 176,000, more than doubled to 375,000 in 2012. Due to inadequate space in the schools, that is the existing schools, only 1,750 students could be absorbed by these 511 schools, that is existing senior and technical and vocational schools, leaving a total of over 200,000 students who will join a waiting list for education come the magic 2013-2014 academic year. And I take that again. Due to inadequate space in the existing schools, only about 175,000 students could be absorbed by these 511 existing SHS technical and vocational schools, leaving a total of over 200,000 students who will join a waiting list for admission come the magic 2013-2014 academic year. Assuming that next year we register another 100% in the number of students who pass and qualify to enter the SHS, that will take us to about some 950,000 qualified students who have to enter our existing SHS technical and vocational institutions. This number will add up to the current SHS student population of 720,000 minus the 200,000 on the waiting list. For our purposes here, we are prepared to work with a very conservative figure of 1 million instead of the projected 1.5 when all these calculations are put together regarding the number of students who will be available to access our existing SHS technical and vocational institutions. FOJODRAMA wants to round that up to 1 million instead of 1,500,000 thereabouts. Let's run it for the purpose of this argument. So come September 2013, there are going to be about 1 million students ready to enjoy Nanado's free SHS. By the 78 million per year costing, what Nanado and the MPP are telling us is that they are going to spend 78 Ghana cedis on each of these 1 million Ghanaian children. If the argument is that we are going to have about 1 million students to access the existing SHS technical and vocational facilities, and the Addo's free SHS is spending 78 million Ghana cedis, then it's a simple arithmetic that the MPP will be spending 78 Ghana cedis, which is not even up to 100 Ghana cedis, on each student to enjoy SHS in Ghana. In other words, if it is for the whole year, then per term, 26 Ghana cedis is what the MPP will be spending on each child to enjoy free SHS education in Ghana. The stress is this: if the 78 will be for the whole year 2013 to 2014, then per term, each child in an SHS or a technical vocational school is going to be given 26 Ghana cedis by the NPP free SHS proposition. In other words, what will this 26 Ghana cedis entail? Addo's IEA encounter stated this. It will entail free admission fees, free textbooks, free entertainment fees, free feeding, that is breakfast, lunch and dinner, depending on the schools, free boarding fees, free library fees, free exam fees, free science center fees, free computer lab fees, free exam fees, free utilities, basically water and electricity, free PTA dues, and this was added currently by Dr. Baomia during his interview with a colleague, Shinibu Akodia, on OKFM's Ghana Decides program last Monday. Ladies and gentlemen, in fact, on the said program, Baomia, who had humbly admitted earlier that he was not sure whether PTA dues were included in the freebies, later declared boldly that yes, PTA was included, and that all that parent needed to do was to, in quote, buy trunk and chop box for the awards, since everything on the bill was included. Ladies and gentlemen, we want you to reflect on this very sad and shameful state of affairs as the custodians of the nation's conscience, and tell us what this really amounts to. 26 Ghana cedis to feed a growing teenager 3 times a day for 3 months, pay for his textbooks for a whole term, pay for his entertainment for a whole 3 months, pay for his admission into SHS, and pay for all those other freebies enumerated above. What a deception, countrymen and women. Nobody is against free SHS. The Constitution makes that clear, but it is the deception of the MPP and the unrealistic figures quoting is what FOJODRAMA is bringing to bear for our countrymen and women to know that when a government is formed, the budgetary allocation for education, the 78 million Ghana cedis, is what we are deliberating upon this afternoon. And your best judges and your conscience should set you on this path. If 26 Ghana cedis per term, which is 3 months, be enough to sustain a teenager in a secondary school in Ghana. Our parents in the marketplace, do you spend 26 Ghana to keep your children in school for 1 term? We leave that question for our countrymen and women to answer. My dear ladies and gentlemen, while you are pondering on this super wonder, it is worth remembering that the NPP has even gone further to promise that they will build 350 new schools within the first 4 years. What they haven't told Ghanaians is how many they will build between January and September 2003 to enroll the 1 million children to start the free SHS program they espouse. Is it 100? Maybe. Since they have added quality to the mantra of late, we can expect 100 new schools like the Achimotes, the Presex, the Pempe Colleges, the Wesley Girls, the Ebri Girls, the Pokuwaris, the Infantipims and Infantimans, the Adesanya College, and what have you. Or what type of modern SHS facility are we going to get from the NPP? Is it a mushroom building that will not stand the test of time? Or that Infantipim structure that has stood the test of time since the 19th century? We ask our colleagues in the NPP. Or maybe they didn't mean quality in that sense. They mean a certain small mushroom school in the corner. We leave that also to them to answer. So we get 100 new schools between January and September 2013 at the same expansion period regarding the existing 511 schools, the cost of which we are not going to count as a nation. We are spending just 100 million Ghana cedis to build 100 new schools. That sounds fine, except when you remember that our whole budget for year 1 is only 78 million Ghana cedis. And we have already used it to take care of the children at the cost of 26 Ghana cedis per head due to free SHS. And we have not even talked about the teachers, their training, their salaries, and the better service conditions we promised them. Dear ladies and gentlemen, the fact of the matter is that it just doesn't make sense to tell Ghanaians that it takes 78 million Ghana cedis to start free SHS program in today's Ghana. That is what FOJODRAMA is talking about. It just does not tally. You don't go to the people because you want votes to tell them that you start free SHS with 78 million Ghana cedis. From the calculations done above, when we have 100 million SHS entrants, they all get 78 a year. Divided by 3 times, they get 26 Ghana. Is that what our parents are spending to keep us in school for 3 months? This is terrible. We of FOJODRAMA believe that to say this is tantamount to telling your brothers and sisters that you are going to buy a quality car for each of them at a cost of 50 Ghana cedis, which is incredible. What it means is that you are either so genuinely out of touch with reality, of which the MPP is, that it borders on liberation, or that you believe you are so smart and all the others are such poor, stupid fools, excuse my word, that you can deceive them into making you the head of family. But Ghanaians are so discerning. As we have said earlier, we cannot, which they can get away with, because come 7th December, 26 Ghana cedis cannot keep anybody's son in school for 3 months. And so we are going to vote wisely. There is no way the millions of enlightened members and thousands of highly educated professors, lawyers, actuaries, and other meaningful Ghanaians cannot divide 78 million by 1 million to get 78, and divide 78 by 3 to get 26. So our calculation is on point. There is also no way they cannot know that 26 Ghana cannot feed a teenage boy or girl within 3 square meals a day for 3 months, while accommodation, entertainment, teaching, and providing his everyday needs apart from trunk and chop box is possible. With the benefit of informed hindsight, we at FOJODRAMA know that the figure of 78 million Ghana cedis Nana quoted, and which has not been retracted, amount to less than 7% of the actual and realistic cost of year 1 of a quality-free SHS program in today's Ghana. At least, we can remember a think tank of university lecturers led by one Dr. Ebenezer Kofi Hayford, who came out with a study putting the required amount of money needed to introduce free SHS in Ghana's education system at over 1.3 billion Ghana cedis. The Ministry of Education puts it at least 1.2 billion Ghana cedis. So where lies our figure of 78 million Ghana cedis? Nana himself, ironically, got very close to this realistic figure during the IEA encounter with 1.4 billion Ghana, but shifted it rather to 2016 instead of 2013. What a deception. That is why FOJODRAMA is saying it is a deception of the century. But our countrymen and women are too enlightened for such a cheap political gimmick. Until he and his followers listen to the voice of reason and retract their empty promises of a free SHS in 2013, which per their figures, we say once again, is unrealistic, we at FOJODRAMA will continue the crusade to expose this fraud to the good people of Ghana with all the vehemence and dedication we can muster. And we hope we can count on you, the fourth estate of the realm, the media, to join us on this crusade to rid Ghana, and especially the vulnerable majority, of this deception of the century. Ladies and gentlemen, to add to this before I resume my seat, it is clear that there is a national policy, and the MPP should not deceive the people of this nation by introducing a different dimension. The Constitution is clear when it comes to how education must be handled in Article 25. If there is a national policy in Article 25, Nana Akufo-Addo and the MPP cannot be parading themselves and be saying that we want to redefine basic education. You cannot redefine basic education when a constitutional provision has not been eliminated. So if Nana wants to redefine basic education, he must go back to Parliament. Fellow countrymen and women, this is very clear that the free SHS proposition by the MPP is just to win votes, and per the figures and as the calculation has been dealt with today, it is clear that whatever amount that is needed to fund a free SHS education in Ghana is way above what the MPP is cheaply putting out there to deceive the people of this country. Our parents do not spend 26 Ghana cedis to keep their awards in school for one term. They spend more than that. It is also clear around the world that tuition free is highly taken up by the states. However, parents around the world pay some amount of money to keep their kids going. Also, to touch on the recent saga by Dr. Mensa Otabil, it is also clear that the Honorable Man of God made a clear point. But the issue here is that the Man of God basically is, I don't want to say it's not trying to stand by his word, but all what the Man of God said was that education must be seen clearly. You cannot have it free. That is all what he was saying. And if that is true, then the Constitution is right, that it must be progressive. Where progressiveness simply means that as at when the state can afford and keep it going, then as a nation we move forward. But not to gain political gains and votes, you come to throw dust in the eye of the people, thinking that it is the 1992 election and people are not enlightened. It is the 2012 election, and our countrymen and women are highly and sophisticated with democracy to the extent that you do not deceive them. They have seen the light, and this free SHS thing is a sham, and MPP must bow their head in shame. Thank you very much for coming.
I think today has shown another milestone in unveiling the deception in our body politic today. I have said severally that truth is one, and just like the Bible says, you find the truth, and then you have life. When truth is everywhere or anywhere, those who are peddling lies will run away for cover. You see, I have to show my gratitude to my brother Ras, and I know that the few days left for this election, what he said today, if our fellow media men and women carry it out, will be the point of discussion towards the election. I have said that the book of James brings out the value of the tongue, the power of the tongue. And scholars have divided the tongue into 4 parts. The first part is that part that when the tongue speaks, there is warmth, there is peace. Then another time that the tongue also speaks, and then there is encouragement. One will give you warmth, will give you confidence, one will give you encouragement. Even when you are falling, stand up, go ahead, encourage you, edits you on. And there is another part of the tongue, when it talks, people fight. Another part of the same tongue, when it comes out, people kill themselves. The Bible says that the tongue is a small thing in the human body, but just by the utterance of the tongue, the bush is set ablaze. It likened the tongue to the ship, and the way it is being steered by a small rudder. That big ship that carries all the cars, all the cargo, a small rudder controls it. So that's how the tongue is likened to. Whoever tells the lie, tells a lie in this election will be exposed. Just at the time minute. You see, this thing started. Free SHS. Then people started asking, but what is going to happen to a basic education? Then the account will say, we will redefine basic education to include SHS. Then I, as a professional teacher, and a technical teacher for that matter, I asked, what is going to happen to technical and vocational education? That one too was silent. Then at the point in time, it came in, we'll bring technical education and vocational education on board. You've touted a policy for over a year, and you are still adding. Today they are still adding. It shows how untruth the policy is. Ras, God bless you for that. And I believe that people will begin to read what has happened today. If they refuse to read, we will talk for them to know that this is the truth. Finally, let me just land and say that whatever we do, we should realize that today people are enlightened. People are enlightened. I have said severally that this free SHS policy is pregnant with a lot of diabolical intentions. Pregnant with, oh yes, it is true. Look, go to GS, you are a journalist. Find out, I'm not giving a new speech to what Ras did, but I'm only putting some, look, find out how many private schools started during the time this FQ thing started in Kufuor's time, 2006 to 2008. A lot of private schools, because the basic schools, government basic schools were watering down, everything was spoiling. So you and I today, we are not comfortable taking our children to the public school. If you come to Accra, the public school which is being patronated is a Garrison basic school, Kolebu this, University of Ghana this, and all that. All the Nima ones, I attended Nima 1, Nima 3, from class 3 to form 4. Today, yes, I school in Nima here. That's why I live in Kumasi. But today, now when this policy that they are touting, which is not going to see any day of light of day, sorry, when they roll it, you ask yourself, where is the point of termination? Who are those who will get to go to Achimota, the Pepe colleges, the Oasis, the Infancy Pins and whatever? Because what is going to happen, as a teacher, what is going to happen is that Kimbu will have a basic school up to SS, and it will be what to take down that you will have to take your child to a private school. They are capitalists. They want to put monies in their chronics. They want to destroy the basic school for people to open more private schools. That is the thing. That is their policy. You see, people follow politics, they don't understand the traditions. Chronics go to Chrome like they've done for basic schools. Do you know that the FQ also include kindergarten? That issue, every school must have a kindergarten up to a JSS 3 or SHS 3. But we see kindergartens, people pay more in the kindergarten than we pay at basic school. You go and find out. I have my foreman. He takes his child 2 years to a kindergarten, and he's paying 185 cedis a term. But you take your child to Nima 1, the whole year you are not paying even 50 cedis. But people don't go. Let me end by saying that the planners of this program have done well. At least let people brand you whatever brand they will give you. You are definite, you are conscientious, you are on target. And I am praying that God blesses you, give you all the wisdom. I know in Ghana, when you do this, people begin to put tax on you. But tax or no tax, it is the truth that will remain and remain forever. God bless all.